So Converge just dropped a new album, Love Is Not Enough, and it's basically a 30-minute blueprint for what modern hardcore should be. This record is so raw, so chaotic, and it feels like the most brutal, direct evolution of that classic 90s sound that they helped to pioneer. But this isn't just a retread. This album feels like the culmination of a journey, a refinement of the very chaos they first unleashed on the world decades ago. To really understand what they achieved with Love Is Not Enough, we have to go back. We have to look at the untamed, violent energy of their 90s albums and see how that DNA has been twisted and perfected into something new. This isn't just another album, it's a statement about survival. And it proves that after more than 3 decades, Converge is still one of the most important bands in heavy music. When you first listen to Converge's output from the 90s, you're hearing a band that's figuring out how to weaponize their instruments. Take their 1996 album, Petitioning the Empty Sky. That album is pure, unfiltered punk aggression. From their opening 7-minute epic, The Saddest Day, it was clear they were blending hardcore and metal in a way that was completely new. The sound is raw, almost like a demo, with Jake Bannon's now signature shrieks. It's the sound of a band throwing everything at the wall. Slayer-esque riffs, jarring breakdowns, and punk energy, all held together by the sheer force of will. Then, just 2 years later in 1998, they released Forever Comes Crashing, my personal favorite Converge album. This album saw them lean even harder into their metallic influences, creating something more evil, more experimental, and frankly, more terrifying. It was a cacophonous, emotionally disgusted record that cemented their sound. Songs like The High Cost of Playing God were these mathy, murderous monsters, but the album was held back by a muddy production that buried some of its brilliance. These records weren't just albums, they were explosions. They were the sound of youthful, untamed angst, and they laid the groundwork for everything that would follow. Now let's flash forward to today, to Love Is Not Enough. The album's core idea is laid bare right from the start. In a world designed to grind you down, love alone isn't going to be enough. They channel that same chaotic energy from their early work, but they refine it with this ridiculously sharp precision that you only get from being a band for 35 years. This isn't youthful angst anymore. This is the sound of mature resilience. Where Petitioning the Empty Sky was a wildfire, Love Is Not Enough is a controlled demolition. Every jagged riff, every polyrhythmic drum fill, and every guttural bass line feels deliberate. It's the same intensity, but now it's focused like a laser. They've mastered the art of making incredibly complex and aggressive music feel urgent and important. The theme is no longer just about relationships crashing and burning. It's a commentary on surviving a world that feels like it's doing the same. One of the most striking things about this new album is the production. It has this raw, almost live-in-the-room quality that makes the frantic intensity feel completely real. Unlike the famously murky sounds of the original When Forever Comes Crashing pressing, here every instrument has space to breathe, even the most suffocating moments. This is the magic of Kurt Ballew's production work. You can hear the scrapes of the picks on the strings, the sizzle of the cymbals, the actual texture in Bannon's vocals. It's a far cry from the raw but less defined sound of their 90s work. That rawness was charming and vital in its own right, but the clarity on Love Is Not Enough amplifies the band's technical skills without sacrificing an ounce of their aggression. It makes the experience visceral and immediate, putting you right in the center of the storm. From the stark opening of the title track all the way to the philosophical closer, We Were Never the Same, this feels like Converge being deliberately focused and purposeful. The title track serves as the album's thesis, a blistering, straight-to-the-point assault that lays out the album's central theme of resilience in the face of despair. But it's the closer, We Were Never the Same, that truly shows their evolution. It's a more atmospheric, brooding track that allows for a moment of reflection after the preceding chaos. It calls to mind the moments of dynamics on When Forever Comes Crashing, like the track 10 Cents, but pushes it further. It feels philosophical because it's not just an ending, it's a conclusion. It's a band looking back at the wreckage, acknowledging the scars, and admitting that the fight has changed them permanently. It gives the entire 30-minute onslaught a profound and resonant arc. Love Is Not Enough is more than just a great new Converge album. It's a cornerstone for this era of hardcore, proving you can be insanely aggressive while exploring complex themes of grief, maturity, and resilience. It perfectly bridges the gap between the unhinged chaos of albums like Petitioning the Empty Sky and the surgical precision they've honed over their entire career. If you're a fan of music history and how bands can evolve without losing their fire, this album is a must listen. So tell me, what do you think of the new album? How does it stack up against their classic material for you? Let me know in the comments.